End of the third traditions are becoming big in college football. We have taken what we see as the top 10 and by voting, we'll let the tournament figure out the rest. Join C Money, Rizzo, Charlie, and Barnum. This is Between Two Barns, the end of the third tradition edition.
All right, so week 13, we were going to start out with something a little different before we get to the football. And it was because we were talking about before we came on that there was a couple of things that just kind of played in cool this weekend with the end of the third traditions that are starting to pop up. And really, I mean, it's gotten to where you almost would rather have those at halftime, really, when I started looking back at it, watching stuff today and realizing how, I'm not going to use a bad word, but halftime, you know how halftime goes. And then you got the end of the third, you got this huge pump up thing. And, you can actually get a few teams back into it. We even saw Oregon participating in the Wisconsin jump around with the blessings of Dan Lanning this weekend. And even Dylan Gabriel talked about it and talked about how it kind of raised their team's spirits away from home. So we pulled up a few things, including the Florida had a really good little crowd performance this weekend. And we got what I personally just threw out what I thought was like the top 10, even with we got two newcomers that will also be in here. Michigan and Tennessee had Michigan recently in the past couple of years has gotten signed on with a band that gave them their blessing. That's a cool song that we'll play in a minute. And then Tennessee is playing a Morgan Wallen song that crowd participation is pretty good, but it's an iffy experience, it looks like. But we just thought we would just do a goofy little tournament thing here, voting. If we come up on a tie, then we'll have to figure out something as far as there only being four of us. I tried to find a fifth, but in short notice, I couldn't get a fifth. So we will. I got actually video clips of each one of these that we can look real quick. Just kind of basing it on something fun, like the crowd participation has got to count a little bit. The song has got to count definitely because there's some songs that are kind of iffy if you hear it in your car, but with some of these crowd participation, they're pretty cool. and then I would just say overall atmosphere, just to put it out there, is like would be the three things if you had to score it. That would be what I was thinking that you could score it on. But so we'll start this off and then we'll talk about a little football after that, just for a little fun and games. So on the first one there, we got Nebraska and South Carolina. Can anybody name the song that Nebraska uses offhand? Because I wasn't actually familiar with it. And then after looking around, figured out that they got a pretty good little experience going, but I was surprised. Anybody know anything about that one?
I think the first time I saw that was that's the only time I've watched them is the Colorado game this year. And I remember, I couldn't tell you the song, but I know that it was a fun experience to watch.
Yeah,
they knocked it out of the park.
They do, and then also part of this, like this swag service on here, of course, there's not many very good videos, so that one we'll kind of have to vote on that one, considering some of our own personal experiences. Some of these videos just are good, and it makes it probably sound a little better than it should. I'm pretty sure the Florida one has nothing to do with the video. That seems like that was just almost a religious experience they had this past weekend before they went on to win that game, especially. And South Carolina, I don't think it matters how you film that one. That one goes bananas, and Wisconsin also. So anyway, here's Nebraska, which I can forward to the good parts, and we can kind of put it up there and see. Well, it'll be neat to compare this Nebraska AC/DC to Darude Sandstorm from South Carolina.
One dude's getting amped up.
Yeah. And then it also, in some of these videos, depend on who was sitting beside the person with the camera also. So we'll play each one as we go through. If anybody needs a refresher when we get to the other rounds. But so we would put that one next to Darude Sandstorm. I did play little favorites and putting who against who here because some of them are going to get knocked out first round no matter what. But this is a good one. I like this one a lot. This one's got to be cool to be at. That's a good one. Man. That one, we lost the dude. He'll be back in a minute. That's a good one. It's like
It is. That's tough. Those two.
yeah, and there he is. All right, he's back.
Happens once a day, once a podcast.
What we deal with it. Yeah. So, I saw a video of an Aussie sports fan just watching some of some of them aren't even these, and he was talking about how he got chill bumps watching some of them. That one right there, like that one got me. I was just sitting here. I kind of forgot I had a camera in front of me, and maybe start to get into that one a little bit. So, Darude Sandstorm, Nebraska, ACDC, C-Money. Who you got on that one? And we'll just do a quick 4 vote and move on.
I think Nebraska's is better.
Oh,
I like theirs more.
okay, original.
I'm gonna go with South Carolina.
Yeah. Charlie,
I like ACDC, man, but that South Carolina is jamming.
I know.
I like the Cox.
Yeah, I know you do. All right. All right. All right.
You know, a lot of these depend on, especially like watching the videos. But like, you know, you do this in an 11 o'clock game
I know.
as opposed to a 6:30 game. Like it's just like the lights and all that.
The light show. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's what I'm saying. Really, the swag surf is going to be the only one out of this whole group, I think, that's going to suffer to that. But that's what I'm saying. We can kind of use our personal experiences being there to vote on that one a little bit. The rest of them are really good clips. All right, so next one, Florida, which we showed a little bit beforehand. Has anybody talked about this in Florida this weekend that you've seen, Charlie?
Talked about what?
The third quarter sing along.
No, that's a normal thing. They've been doing that for years.
Oh, I know they have, but this was
Tom
like,
anything.
this was so top notch. I mean, it had to do with the game, had to do with, of course, nighttime and LSU, and you got a chance to win it. But this is what got me thinking about doing this. So here's I think it's the crowd participation that gets me into that. That song is legit, but
It has to be a song that everybody can sing along to. Like that Nebraska song, you can't really sing. You know, you do the find out, the one thing.
Yes.
But like, you get the right song, like this one, everybody knows the words. They're not hard. It's a common song, and you get the whole crowd participating.
So that was pretty good, and I actually put it up against Wisconsin, which we all know Wisconsin's song, and it's insane. I actually worked with a fellow that's from up in that area, and he said once that started, they actually had to go reinforce the stadium for all the jumping that was happening. Like they had to put
really?
extra, yeah. All right, so here's, of course, we know it, but it's so good to watch, and it's in a weird video format. That's one I found. Okay, and that goes into an ad. It's a good man. I want to experience that one. I've got nothing for Wisconsin, but that is all right. I'm going to start again with C-Money. Where you got on that one?
Wisconsin.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to choose Wisconsin. I hate to. Florida did a great job, but I think they're going to suffer. Rizzle.
Yeah, I love Tom Petty, man, but that's a hype train.
Charlie, do you have a
I will ride the train. I like it.
all right. Penn State, which I put that one on there because it's cool. And Charlie, you've been there and saw it firsthand, right? At a night game. a whiteout game too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, which we lost, but well, on.
We lost because of Harrison.
Blame everything on him.
All right, so
He's the reason we
nighttime,
suck this season.
Yep.
His
nighttime
participation.
at Penn State. They all make you smile. I just look up in the camera. I'm like, what am I smiling at? So I put that one up against another traditional song that I honestly thought when I read that this was one of the good ones, I was like, there's no way that this is good. But they actually Oregon actually makes the Shout song worth listening to. And that's
Yeah.
the hard work right there, man. But they do it. They even get into it and do, let's see. I hate that song, but it's pretty good in that setting. That's pretty good. If I had to pick there, I would actually pick. I thought Neil Diamond verse. I can't remember who sang Shout, but I would pick. I'd pick the Ducks with Shout on that one. I'll go first on that one. Results go back. Let's see, Charlie, you go next.
Well, I can speak from personal experience about Happy Valley. You talked about the Florida thing being a religious experience, sitting in that and not ever seeing it before. I don't know that I even knew that Penn State did that until that game. That was kind of a surreal moment, though. I mean, I love the Oregon thing. I've seen some of that on TV, and even the players get involved in it. They're down on the sideline dancing, but for being there firsthand, it's an easy pick for me. It's Penn State.
He takes Penn State. All right, Rizzle.
Man, I don't like either of these programs. It's a tough one.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Oregon, man.
All right. So, see, Money, what do you have on that?
I was gonna say Penn State, so we have a tie.
We have a tie now, and honestly, what I was thinking on this one, if we tied, is that the personal experience is probably going to outweigh on this one. So I think, 'cause I mean, for real,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't like a lot of these programs, but seeing what they do at halftime or in the third quarter is something. All right, so of course we have the Barn and Swag Surf, which man, there are some. I don't know. I guess I should say it. There's some cringy videos of the Swag Surf. You got to be careful when you're showing people.
We are uncoordinated in the Swag Surf.
Like the beginning of this one, even, which I'll move past. I was like, oh, I can't find one that doesn't just have somebody looking dumb. So if I'm banging my mouse up.
Well, definitely don't show the video of when
Look at that. Yep.
uncoordinated white people.
Man,
Yep.
it's like, can you adjust?
Frat boy Central.
We put that right up against. This is the Iron Bowl.
At least you didn't pick the video of where the group actually came out and sang it, and we were getting smoked.
Yeah, I know. I looked at it, and It was pretty far down the list once I started looking at the quality of what. Yeah. I put it up against Bama Dixieland Delight, and I want you to vote honestly. Their crowd participation is off the chain. There's no doubt. But maybe we had a bad video of the swag surf. But if you had to vote, I know it's hard to vote, but if you had to vote like you're not a true Barner, C Money, what would you pick on those two?
Oh, man.
Or vote however you want.
I'm gonna take Auburn just because I don't like how I might be being a little biased here, but I don't like how they didn't even sing the song. The song at that one part they just started saying "roll." I'm not gonna finish that. But.
Don't say it. Yep. Okay. Which I do want to make sure that we get who are actually playing against in full view. All right. I can't. I know I tried to see if anybody would go the other way. I can't. I'm just going to say swag surf.
I can't do it either.
Rizzle.
Yeah, man, I'm going
Yeah.
to Barn, man. He's singing a song about Tennessee, and they try to take everything for their own, and get out of here.
I already knew where Charlie was going to vote on this one.
Well, you do have to say though that if you take crowd participation into account, there's only the student section doing the swag surf because all the old whites and the rest of the stadium are not participating.
You're right. You're right. You see pockets here and there. Honestly, I don't see the swag surf surviving this little tournament as much as I thought they would once I got into it.
No chance. They lose the next round.
Yeah.
Well, at the same time, though, the counterpart of that argument is you don't see a bunch of Alabama players buck dancing to Dixieland Delight on the sideline either.
That's true.
That's true. It is a segregated song.
All right.
It's the only people in the Bama Stadium that are black are the players, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh my God.
And there we go. We're canceled.
What happened?
On another note, Janai has 17 to end out the first half.
Nice. What's the score?
41-30 something.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. I had a technical error there at the worst possible time, and when I clicked the video to play, it just sat there. Still, what does that say? You check.
Who was the first team to have a third quarter tradition?
I don't know. That's a good question because that's what I was saying. When you start looking at it, you're like, they're all down here. I got a whole bunch of videos sitting down here. Because it really takes the place of probably I don't know what halftime was really supposed to be. Maybe it is just for getting up and going to do something else. But
halftime is just a break for the players.
Yeah, the third quarter is it. If you don't have something for that, it kind of sucks.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we're going to be down.
Well, and a lot of it's changed in recent times with the LED lights.
Right.
Yep.
Because back in the day, they'd have to turn the lights on at 2:00 to warm them up.
Yeah.
If you turned them,
you
on, it was over.
If the lights went out, you were going home. They weren't coming back home.
Yeah.
It was Oregon. Oregon had the first one
Oregon did the first one
in 2010.
Wow.
Shout.
Was that straight off the internet?
Yeah, let's look it up.
Hot off the press.
Really? Or did you just
Interesting.
Oh wait, hold on.
Is it?
Wait.
There might be another one.
Not so fast, my friend.
Now I'm reading Penn State.
See.
All right, well, you read on that for a minute,
Okay.
and then I'll play this one, which this is a newer one with the blessing of the band, and it's pretty cool. Did you hear how like thin and tinny that background audio is, and it's really just the crowd? Did you hear that? When they stopped, I thought they were playing a different song. Let me see. Yeah, they're really actually carrying that. And then here's a new one from Tennessee that I'll just leave you to decide what you think of this one. That's a new one.
Penn
You can
State.
tell nobody knew the song.
It's Penn
No, no.
State.
Penn State. Okay, officially, you're saying officially?
It's the OGs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 1970s.
Penn State was the first. Okay, if you had to Penn 1970s, that song was new in the 70s. All right, so if you had to vote on that one, I would say Michigan on that one all the way. I think Tennessee knew the song for real. I thought it was funny. That's why I put it on there. The song about the way I talk. I think they said.
Yeah. And nobody's singing except for the raw part. Like that. That's a hard song to
So I can
sing.
safely say that your vote is Michigan also.
100%.
All right, C-Money.
Michigan.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's the newcomer bracket. So what I thought we'd do, we finish this out real quick, and then we see if we even think we'll play the newcomer up against who's here in it, and then we'll decide. All right. So does anybody need a refresher on South Carolina versus Wisconsin? If anybody wants to see 2 quick clips, we can do that side by side. No,
I don't think we do.
I feel like somebody wants us to hurry up. All right.
No, I mean, we just watched.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
C-Money, what do you got on that one?
South Carolina.
Oh, okay. Rizzo?
Wait, what was the Wisconsin one?
Jump
Jump
around.
around.
He needs a video.
Yeah, I can pull it back up. I mean, 2 clicks, man.
Bum, bum, bum.
All right, you changed to Wisconsin?
Yeah.
All right. I say Wisconsin. Anybody got a South Carolina in them?
Wisconsin.
There was another way to
Games.
put that question, and I almost said it.
Do it.
No. Does anybody have a sporting fighting bird in them?
A rooster.
All right. Penn State versus Swag Serve. I have to go Penn State on that one.
That's an easy one.
Rizzo, are you
Close.
Barn or Penn State?
I'll go
Yeah.
Penn State just because we don't have very good footage.
We don't. I don't know. Maybe
We'll
it's
change.
because everybody's enjoying it.
Yeah, we'll change it this weekend. We actually have a night game.
All right, this is a good one. This is the old Big Ten showdown. We're gonna have a three Big Ten teams finishing it up. All right, Wisconsin, jump around. I'm gonna say Charlie vote first. You experienced Penn State firsthand.
I'm going Penn State all the way.
Okay, Rizzo.
And I think that's because of experience more than anything.
Right, I get it.
Jump around.
Okay. C Money.
Penn State. The only reason I like Penn State more is because you can hear the crowd in Penn State. Wisconsin, they don't have words. It's just the crowd jumping. It's still great.
You just sold me. You just sold me.
One of the best ones, but Penn
Because
State.
with here, all you do is jump around. These people are at the top of their lungs for real singing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're more involved.
All right. Okay. So now, that's a pretty good one, though. If you had to put Penn State against Mr. Brightside.
My vote doesn't change.
Okay.
Michigan's was really good.
It was good. It was really good. Crowd
And that's
participation.
a tough song to sing.
Yeah, it was good. Their crowd participation was pretty good.
Were the players involved?
I think the whiteout at Penn State doing it adds an element to it.
Yeah.
I could agree with that. That white out there is pretty awesome.
Yes.
Let's see. Let's just for 1 second. Let's do like a little bit of bright stuff. In both the videos, you see that the teams are not doing anything.
Yeah.
Both of these songs do not get the team into it at all.
Oh, no, not at all.
Not at all.
If you have to rely on a song to get ready for the fourth quarter, I don't want you on my team.
Okay. Well, I'm not saying they have to rely on it.
It's 50-37 at half.
50-37.
Oh,
50 to
nice.
37. All right. So if you had to pick that one, where are we going with that?
I think if the Michigan video, and I know that that's just one video, but I think if that video they were all wearing like maize,
right,
it would help. It would help out. But I'm still Penn State.
You're Penn State. All right, Rizzle.
I'll go Penn State.
C Money.
Michigan.
I think there's some bias here.
Too. Well, I'm Michigan too, and it really is. It was the crowd participation of it that had me going.
I mean, in the middle of the Penn State screen, you can see this old white dude yapping to this girl.
Maybe they were fans on the other team.
That was a good point you just made right there. That somebody was talking during it.
And they were in red though, so.
Okay. Okay. That makes a difference. They were for the other team. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, maybe, okay.
Hence why they were not participating.
All right, I'm gonna set that one up. We'll do a Twitter vote on that just to see what happens.
I like it.
We'll leave it at that. Okay.
Do you want to play the Penn State one more time so I can see what team it was?
No.
Probably Wisconsin.
Yes, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Yeah, they were in red.
Could have been Indiana. It's a
Could have
pretty
been.
bright red.
Yeah.
Could have been.
All right. Well, I'll toss that one out with a couple of files, and we'll see what happens with that one. All right. So, Mike Tyson fight. Mike Tyson type.
Mike Tyson type.
Yeah, it was. I think we all feel like that was fixed, right?
Yes.
100%.
Every video that's come out since then, it just seems like he was one dude one day, and I don't know. I mean, when he almost like he kind of looked like he tripped coming out of the tunnel, and I thought,
I saw that. I was like, oh my god,
spacey. I don't know.
I mean, he fought during quarantine, didn't he? In 20?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
He fought Roy Jones in a exhibition.
Yeah,
Not
and now
much
that
can change in 4 years.
that Andre that was announcing with the glasses on,
Yeah,
he says he wants next.
yeah. I mean,
Who wants next?
That's Big Paul. Not Mike Tyson. He was one of the announcers. Andre, he's like head of
I forgot his last name. He's been boxing
media
for
team.
years.
Yeah, he's the head of the media team for the promotion company that ran that whole thing.
And he wants Jake Paul next.
Yeah, that's what he said. He said, "All you gotta do is say my name." So
Yeah, but that's not a money fight. Jake Paul won't do it. It's not a draw.
you're right. That's true. He's got to have that.
Let him man up and get in the ring with Johnny Bones Jones. See how that
Oh.
goes for him.
Jeez.
Stipe can't walk today. I'm sure that his
Dude,
ribs.
he lacerated his kidney, he lacerated his spleen, and broke 2 ribs with that kick.
I was worried about it. He kicked him right in the spleen. That's right in the spleen.
So bad.
He lacerated his spleen, lacerated kidney, and 2 ribs. Dude, I knew it was so solid when I did the sound of it. I was like, "Oh my god!"
You could hear it. Like I was hoping it wasn't the ribs that you could hear because it sounded like somebody broke a granola bar.
Yeah, that was brutal.
That was brutal. All right, so then.
No, I was like, let him fight somebody that really
Yeah.
that can fight. That's not twice his age, 3
Well,
3 times his age.
He keeps trying to call out Canelo. I would love to see that. Canelo would smoke him.
I think so too. I don't think Canelo would do it though, because Canelo actually has a career.
Right. Canelo would do it when he's 60.
It's got to be somebody fresh off the.
Nobody wants to participate in that stuff.
No, I know. It's just dumb. I mean, if you actually have a career and you go out there and you accidentally get hurt, not even from him, you could screw your whole career up for what? For unsanctioned bull crap. Like, and Netflix, we talked about that on text, me and Charlie, bro, I thought they were going to burn down. Like, if that's the way that they're going to run things with a live sporting event, that's bad.
Yeah, they just have never done that before.
They've got a double header on Christmas Day of NFL football.
Well, I mean,
Plus they've got wrestling coming up. So
I mean, you've been streaming worldwide for years. That was really, I mean, I know not everybody watching the same thing at the same time. That was really disappointing. I'm glad that they flipped whatever switch they did when they did, because it seemed like they must have turned on extra servers or something. They got better. But it was, if that had been something people actually paid for, that would have been a disaster.
oh yeah.
All right, so football this weekend. Like I said, I missed everything from 11 to 2:30. I missed everything from 8 in the morning till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I can't speak to that very much except for highlights. What were your feelings on us against ULM? Did you feel like that the DBs were just bad enough that the holes were bigger, or did Peyton look like he was actually on track, or felt better about it? Was it just less stressed on him because it was ULM? Anything?
I felt like it was a combination. I mean, obviously they're not the best team in the world. They're not a bad team. But what I was impressed with was actually sustaining drives, which for most of the season, most of our touchdowns have been on kind of big plays and stuff. Like, if you go back to the big scoring games earlier in the season, when we beat the Alabama A&Ms and all that stuff, it was just, deep passes and stuff. But
yeah,
this was more of a, like there was one drive, I think in the second quarter, it was like 97 yards or something.
So it wasn't home run ball type stuff like he.
No, it was just.
We actually were driving the ball.
Right. And then we had no penalties the whole game.
Penalty the whole game.
Yeah, which is that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and then one turnover, which was with the backups in. And that was Walker White and Cobb. So I was impressed with it all the way around. So
do you feel like it was just getting Walker White some playing time that he probably deserved for working hard this season?
Yeah, that's all it was just putting him out there in the atmosphere. We have a new kicker. He's a walk-on from Birmingham Southern. He did not miss.
No, he hit.
Towns was the kickoff specialist, but this kid was the field goal kicker.
When did he walk on? Like after they closed? Well, it had to be after they closed. Like,
No, it was after. Yeah, this is his first year on campus.
but not like a mid-season walk on. He's been there.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
I hate
And
I missed all that.
he said today that it's his job because he didn't do anything to lose it. So
That's very contradictory. I don't even like hearing that. Doesn't make any sense. But okay. I mean, yeah, I
Well,
understand that with the kicker, but then you're telling me that it's been Peyton's job because he's done everything to lose it. Like, so that doesn't make sense. But all right.
well, it's a little different when you're talking quarterback and kicker, though.
I'm picking. I did start catching everything from then on. So Georgia game was crazy. There were some questionable calls there. I thought that was a fumble that should have gone Tennessee's way, but it
Oh man.
didn't.
Ooh.
Oh, get that out of here.
I felt like Georgia played like Georgia again.
Yeah.
I mean, Carson. They kept Carson back off his rear end. They blocked. He didn't throw the ball to the other team. They ran the ball, which they haven't run the ball all year. I mean, I felt like that was what we expected Georgia the week before against Ole Miss.
Yeah, Carson was even more mobile, jumping out of there, picking up 15, 20 yards on scampers. And
Yep.
I was pretty mad that they were normal because on my underdog, I bet Carson to throw an interception. So
oh no, you did.
yeah,
Was it just one, the over under on
it was
one?
just 1.5 was the line. I bet higher.
I think we need to talk about the regression of Nico this year.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
something's wrong there.
Well, freshman.
He's a sophomore.
I thought he was freshman.
He played.
No,
he
he
started
played-
the ball game last year.
Yeah, he played last year for him.
Let's see if you go back and you look at who they played for one thing. Chattanooga, NC State, Kent State, Oklahoma, which has turned out to be no good. Arkansas, they got beat by. Florida, Alabama, they won. Kentucky, I mean, I guess he's regressed, but at the same point, he's getting into the harder and harder part of the schedule too, and maybe his decision making just gets messy.
I don't know if he's necessarily regressed. I just don't know. He has not lived up to the potential. Like,
No.
I mean, they were talking like preseason Heisman, like top 10 for this guy. And I just,
Well, I mean,
with Josh Heupel's offense.
Well, yeah, first three
Yeah.
games he had 69, 51, and 71 points. So,
Right.
everybody was, yeah. But that was three teams that were,
No one.
I mean, Chattanooga, NC State, and Kent State. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It totally seemed like something's out of whack. I was just figuring that he was getting into playing some of the bigger teams and just struggling. I don't know. 'Cause there's been times where he'll play down for a week and then play up for a week. He looked awful against Alabama.
Well, he's just not putting up a ton of yardage either.
Yeah.
No.
He only had 160 this week.
And they run a weird offense. They got those wide receivers so far outside.
They were
Yeah.
they won like a 5 wide weird
Yeah.
thing.
But they're a lot wider than a normal team. Like, they're out by the sideline.
Yeah, they're putting them out
Oh, yeah.
next to the boundaries to try to
Yeah.
open up the defense. It's really weird.
Yeah.
You don't. I mean, you see it some in the NFL, but you don't see a ton of it in college for sure.
I mean, I'm not gonna say this is why, but in college football, I run it a lot. If I see a team's running cover 4, just try to spread them out. And
Oh,
just run
I'll run the read option with them spread.
I can't run the read option because if I run it, it's been the same since Madden, and I can't get the buttons right. So I just run. It used to be A to hand it, and now it's A to keep it.
That's a problem.
It just makes the defense run a dime defense. So you just got a linebacker to beat and take it to the house.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So Notre Dame and Army are this week at Yankee Stadium.
That's gonna be a big one. Did you see Brian Kelly lose his mind on that kid?
Yeah, I told him he was uncoachable. From what I could tell reading
Yeah,
notes, he said
That's what everybody said. He said, "You're uncoachable. Where do you think you're going?" Like,
Yeah, I saw that too. Which some people were like, I missed that from coaches, and then some people said it was totally out of line. I don't know. And maybe he is uncoachable. Maybe for weeks and weeks on end in practice, he's been uncoachable.
Maybe he's a bad coach.
That's true. That's true.
Like
So everybody was
maybe he's-
saying, yeah, everybody was saying BYU is going to be the in the tournament, and now they lost to Kansas, so that's really starting to pave the way for Colorado to slip in there.
Well, Colorado's got Kansas this week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that'll
Kansas
be
is playing good ball since the beginning of the season. They started off horrible. They have turned it around.
this
I mean,
has been the
Speaking
season. Yep.
Talk about Billy Napier for a second.
Okay, that's where I was going. This has been a season where it's almost like this season is long enough for you to have 365 days to go all the way down and come all the way back up. It's unreal. Yeah, he's doing everything they had hoped he would. I guess he finally got it dialed in, man.
And, I mean, those players are playing for him. Like you could see it Saturday against LSU.
Mhm.
They were playing for him.
Yep. And then on the other side, you got, like we were talking about, Brian Kelly, who maybe you don't want to play for that guy. He acts all out of sorts. I mean, he can't be a fun guy to play for.
No.
So
it seems so weird, man.
yeah,
Like
I mean, 4 weeks ago they were probably the best team in the SEC
yeah,
yeah.
for like 2 weeks.
yeah. That's what they started the season looking. We talked about that. The first half of the first game, they were world beaters, and then they fell off, and then they came back for 2 weeks, and you're like, oh, they're going to be in the 12, and then they're out again.
Yep.
It's crazy how long. I don't know if it's because instead of looking at 4, we're looking at 12 teams every week that everybody's considering that you got to be in. But man, it seems like this season's really long in an enjoyable way, not like a bad way.
I think you got more parity this year than before. Like you don't have last year it felt like it was Michigan and Ohio State. You knew it was going to come down to that game of who was going to go.
Yeah.
Bama was Bama after the third game of the year when they benched Milroe. Like they were a different team after that. But like this year, I mean, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
Well, last year too, though, man. Like if you lost one game, unless you were one of the Alabamas or a bigger team with the preseason ranking that you were up there, if you lost one game last year, you're out.
Yeah.
So I think expanding the playoffs has definitely helped with that as well, and just bring there's more excitement about it. Every game matters, but it's like sometimes they don't matter as much as they did in years past.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's the what were they saying? Not the quality loss, but like Notre Dame losing to Northern Illinois.
Northern Illinois.
That is like just erased from the whiteboard. Those games can now just be overcome, man. And it's awesome because you don't have to play that 12, 13-0 to be in the championship. But it's crazy to see those games disappear. Now they're number 6. I mean, everybody's got them. But
then you look at strength of schedule. Everybody's been talking about since the 12, since they announced the top 12 or whatever.
Yeah.
Like you look at like a Georgia to bring them up. They've played 3 top 10 teams, 2 of them on the road that they lost. They lost to Ole Miss. They got 2 losses, but they've got the hardest schedule in the nation.
Yep.
And then you look at like Indiana or Penn State, their strength of schedules out of the top 50, and even Notre Dame's is, and I know Indiana's got Ohio State this week, and then their whole season comes down to that one game. But other than that, they haven't played nobody. So if they lose to Penn State or they lose to Ohio State by, let's just say 2 touchdowns, now they have 1 loss, so they're a top 12 team.
I mean, that's the
When they've beaten nobody.
right.
Yeah.
But they say the strength of schedule is a number that goes into the figuring, is what they say.
Yeah. I mean, if you take Indiana at the end of the season in a neutral site game against Ole Miss, or
Right.
let's say LSU, a 3-loss, who's favored?
Well, I mean, LSU, so I've got it pulled up. according to College Football Network, LSU is number 7 strength of schedule wise. I have it
I was
rolling.
gonna say I don't think you can bring that hard of a SEC, that powerhouse of an SEC, without a 12 team or bigger playoff. 'Cause
Exactly.
half the SEC is top 25.
I'm gonna have to hit like find.
And you don't have a Pac-12.
No, you don't.
There's 2 teams in that conference.
Indiana
That's still so wild to me.
66th.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, so you got people that are up there in the actual top 10. Georgia's 8th, Alabama's 12th, Texas 14. I mean, yeah, a lot of the ones that are up there are pretty far down the strength schedule. But it'll all
that's just
shake
from
out.
playing.
I mean,
That's just from playing conference games too.
yeah, it'll shake out. I mean, that 12-team tournament. I mean, if you're Indiana and you can't hold it, you're out, buddy.
I'm curious, where's
No, I'm not-
BYU in that?
They're probably in 75th.
Who?
BYU.
BYU.
I thought they were
On
frauds
the
too.
strength of schedule?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was talking to Dad about it the other day, or Barner.
The secret.
Daddy Barner.
BYU. So according to this 10th.
10th?
Wait, that's the nope. I mean,
I was about to say, there ain't no way they're
No.
10.
I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong list. It skipped to another list. 59.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, it went to probably the most telling list. The Big 12 strength of schedule. They were actually 10th in the Big 12 strength of
Oh,
schedule.
wow.
Ew.
Ouch.
So Auburn actually was 16th in this, according to this strength schedule.
Yep.
And they had
Dude, is-
and I'm looking at BYU schedule right now. All of their games, or almost all of their games, were very close.
Yeah, but that's why this little playoff is going to satisfy the people, the FSUs from last year, the people like that argue they can't get into the 4 and they can't get into the. I mean, if you're arguing that you should be 12th and not 13th, nobody even has to listen to that.
Yeah.
No.
Because by the time you get to 12th, you're kind of, you know what you got.
It's like the 65th team in basketball arguing that they should be in over the
Mhm.
64th team.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
whole Big 12 is going to shake itself out because BYU and Colorado are going to play for the Big 12 championship, and a 2-loss Big 12 team has zero argument.
Yes.
They're going to get one team in and one team only.
Yeah.
Yep. I haven't even been. Everybody's watching that show every week and all that. I'm just not paying attention to it yet. There's so much left to go in this season, even with just the 3 weeks left. There's still
I
so
thought
much
I
that's
didn't even
going to
know that
shake
too.
out.
Yeah, it's just for ratings. I don't even know why they
Yeah.
show it.
No, it's just for internet chatter.
Yeah, there's so much of that that's going to fix itself and shake out. There's just no point right now.
And then the SEC argument is about playing in the SEC championship game and how it's a negative.
Yeah.
Right.
Disservice.
Yeah.
Unless you win.
Yeah,
We got Army Notre Dame this week too.
yeah, at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah. You got Indiana, Ohio State.
Yeah.
Yep. Bama, Oklahoma, if that means anything.
I've seen some chatter that there's some fans that are a little worried about it.
I'm
So-
curious to see how Arizona State plays against BYU.
Arizona State's been playing good ball.
Yeah.
We'll put those on the picks for this week.
Auburn's
think-
only a 2.5-point underdog.
I know.
I think
It's wild.
BYU's a fraud.
Well, so the thing like about Vegas is crazy. Looking at it last week, they've been so right so much, but then when they're wrong, I thought 24.5 for Auburn was crazy. And then, of course, they 31.
Yeah,
but it's like I didn't think that was going to happen at all. But
they know more than we do.
Said it last week. We're casuals.
We are casuals.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I'm too. I get paid to do other stuff.
Exactly.
All right, so I'll toss that thing out to Twitter, and then we'll get the picks thing set up. Rizzle, you're gonna make it down for XA&M. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it. We'll have to link up.
Yeah, especially we have to. I need to add you to the hot food take chat, so you're in on it, because that's a fun one on the side. It's just like it's all the same people. It's just that it's not out there in public, but a bunch of them are trying to go. But all right, cool. Well, anybody got anything else for this week?
I don't think so, man. When do you want to do the picks? What's your schedule like?
It got to be Thursday night.
Okay.
Did you say that was a bad night for you, Charlie?
No.
Okay.
It's fine.
All right. And if y'all can do it, since we're kind of off on our own now, schedule wise, if y'all want to do them earlier, like 7:30 or 7-ish, we can talk about that on the side. But I'm open to it.
I'm open to that.
All right.
Yeah, I'm fine with whatever, man. Whatever the group picks, I'm fine with.
Okay. All right. I'm going to hit this little thing and we'll close it out and I'll post it up there.
End of the third traditions are becoming big in college football. We have taken what we see as the top 10 and by voting, we'll let the tournament figure out the rest. Join C Money, Rizzle, Charlie, and Barnum. This is Between Two Barns, the end of the third tradition edition.